Hi guys, this is Cindy over at Paper Old and New. If you're new here, welcome. And if you were returning, welcome back. I am discovering things about these mock scrapbooks. You know these ones that I said they're like ready-made journaling kits? I mean, technically, if I wanted to use all of this ephemera that I'm cutting out of here in a vampire journal, I suppose I could. But I am discovering it could go in any kind of journal. That's just a medieval village. So, I mean, that's a picture that I could put anywhere. It's just a black and white picture of a medieval village. I don't see anything in it. Anyway, so I've been cutting up these two vampire books. They came out of the thing really easy. The covers are kind of padded. Where's the other? See, I've already cut this one apart. See and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a layer of foam in there. So these are padded. They're also 10 inches by 6 inches. So cutting them in half, you could get a 10 by 6 journal, or you could trim the side if 10 by 6 is too tall. But you can get a journal out of the back and a journal out of the front. Just cut it right down the middle. So I'm really excited about having these like kind of padded. I think these will make neat journal covers. So I'm excited about that. Once I got these apart, I discovered something else. Remember I said I wanted two because when we were looking at the fronts of the pages, let me see I'll get the spine out of the one I haven't taken apart yet. Or the text block. Remember we were looking at these and it looked like it was all one page, right? I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to make choices, but I have two copies so I can get, this side out of one book and this side out of the other book. Well, I discovered something. Once I got it out of its cover and I was looking at the back, I was like, okay, so it's kind of like folded pages. So I guess I just take them apart. Well, what I didn't realize is this space is can you hear that? It's this. So the page itself actually splits in the middle. They're open at the back. So I do get both sides of the book. Both sides of the page. So this was one side of the page and this was the other side of the page. And now I can cut them apart and I can get, I get twice as much ephemera because I have two copies. Because I didn't realize. So I was really excited when I got the text block out and I discovered that it split like that. I'm hoping they all do that. But I thought I would show you some of the stuff I'm doing and getting out of here. Let me see. See all those can you see all these little words? Okay, so first of all, when I get all the little scrap pieces cut out, I save the text and I read through it and I find little words and phrases that I want. Like I've been keeping all of the dates because there's a day of the week, there's a month, there's a number, so I could use them together or I could use them separately. There's all kinds of phrases. A dark mystery, our journey, to solve, note. I don't know what these say. Desolate, strange. So I'm getting all kinds of little words to use on, ephemera when I'm making ephemera, which is nice. Something else I decided that I could do with the text was if I read through this and there's nothing in here I really want, I could cut this into a tag shape or a journaling card shape and I could use the text like background. You know how we're always stamping text on background? I could use the text as background and collage over it with, some of it in the background. So, put flowers or mushrooms or in this case, bats or ghouls or, whatever. And then the other thing I was noticing was like I get pages like this that have this has ink splatters on the side. Well, it'd be really cool to cut a little tag out of this area and get the ink splatters on the background. So I'm holding on to these as I cut ephemera off of the page to look through them and see what else I might be able to get. So I'm getting stuff like this. So ephemera that's like layered on the page where, this is an oval, but if I was to cut it away from this ticket, it would have a flat spot. I think these would make adorable little tuck spots or pockets on a page. So you could lay it across a page, or you could lay it down a page. On the side, you could glue just the ends and make it a belly band, or you could glue the ends and then along these bottom edges of this so that you could tuck something in it. If you want to know how that looks on a page, Stephanie over at Coffee Paper Scissors, Stephanie over at Coffee Paper Scissors is doing a romantic journal, and she has done it with a layered piece of ephemera like this, and she glues it down in her book as a pocket, and it turns out really cute. So there's that idea. And then I get stuff like this that flips open, and this could be like a hidden tuck spot, because if you glue this down on a page, you flip it up, and if there could be something tucked in here that hides underneath of there. What else? I get like little, this was tucked in something. I don't remember what, but somewhere in the book was an envelope with this little, I think this is money tucked in it. But this is all stuff that I've cut away. There were maps. This is a stack of maps, as you can see. I feel like there was more to that because there's extra paper back here, but I don't know. Here's coins. I wanted to get you one. I wanted to show you one of the, oh, here's an envelope. So you open this up and it's got wolf hair in it. Well, that's what it's supposed to be. And I cut it out of the book. So the back of this envelope is card. So you could lay this in a book and it could be a pocket or, you know, whatever, but it opens and it's got some texture in it. There's been a couple of those. Look, I found a moth in here too. There's been a couple like that where it, like, see, there's this opens. Oh, it folds out, and this is the torn part. It was on another page. So I cut it out and I put it in here so that I would keep them together. And then I don't remember what my idea was for this. I think it was to make this a corner tuck and then tuck this in it. But the back, and then I could, you know, make the back a journaling spot, but you tuck this in its own. Yeah, okay. Enough splaining. I also found this little thing, which it's supposed to be folded, so I folded it just to see. And I don't know how I would use it folded, because if I fold it that way, I suppose you could tuck it around a page or something. But so you find all kinds of little odds and ends in here that are like, here's a box of bullets. They're supposed to be silver bullets. And like I said, you can find stuff in here. I wanted to show you that doesn't necessarily have to be Vampire Journal. Introduction to Blood, Part 1. This is a science article. So, yeah. It doesn't necessarily have to be a vampire book. I found this in one of the books. Well, it's in both of them, but it's a medieval village, and there's nothing in that picture that says I can't use it just as a village. It doesn't have to be associated with a vampire book. So, lots of different things in these, and lots of different things to come up with. Again, map of Europe can be put in any kind of journal. What is this? The Carpathian Gazette. Nah, it might be a little... I think this is an article about vampires. So, probably. But anyway, so I was really thrilled to find out that they come apart like that. So I have been cutting these up. And like I said, when I get done cutting everything out around the page that I want, I save the words to go through later. Like, look at these as little mouse tracks. And I saw something when I was watching somebody doing a video, what do you call it? flip through. Somebody was doing a flip through. And they did this really cool, I'm going to have to try and save a wide enough. They actually did it with a, one of those coin, you know, when you get, well, I don't know, maybe they only do it here. No, I would assume they do it everywhere. Coin wraps. Do you guys have those in other countries? I'm just curious. I'm always curious about stuff like that. So they took a coin wrap and glued it closed, and then, because the coin wraps aren't very big, they just had it down on a corner as a little belly band. Like, so I would take this piece that I'm cutting out with these little rat footprints in it, which I just thought looked kind of cool. And I would take it and I would, let me get a, okay, so if this was a journal page, I would sit it right here and only glue the ends. And then it would be a little tuck spot. So you would tuck like that. Can you see? So I've been saving some of these strips like this that have an interesting something on them. To do stuff like that with. Get that out of here. I hope there weren't any. I'm gonna have to go through that when I don't pay any attention when I grab stuff and I say, oh, I'm going to show this and I'm going to use this as my example. And then I don't think about it and I'm like, oh, wait, did that have any bad words on it? Because that's one of those like modern books. So I don't know if I'm going to have to censor that. Hopefully I don't, but you never know. Okay, so I would just continue doing this. Now, what I want to do is see, this is the vampire one. Okay. So this one, do you see, this is not connected to its spine. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. Do you see the gap? I can stick my finger in there. It's so big. So it makes it really easy to just take a pair of scissors because this cut does not have to be pretty. And then, of course, you flip it over and you do it again on the back. Now, this cut might be a little harder just because I might want to keep that envelope. So I'm going to have to get this one. Okay, there we go. Now, I can salvage, oh, it comes off. Well, it comes off that end. I'll have to get a knife or something and go under there. I don't know. They made it a flip, guys. So you can get the pen. This pen doesn't write anymore, by the way. It was sitting in this book so long that I didn't know it was there, that it's just out of ink. Okay, so just like this one, well, I don't know. These ones seem to be glued at the back, so I don't know if I can. So maybe they're not all constructed exactly the same. Let me see if this helps. I don't know, guys. I might not be able to get this one apart. Oh, wait. Yeah, I can. This one's separated at the... Ouch. This one's separated at the top and bottom. So we just... have to separate this one end. Now this is glued way, I mean, that's a big strip of glue. I don't know if you can see that. Not the way I'm holding it, you can't. So if I go like this, see how much of that is connected? So I don't know. I mean, you can pull it apart. I just don't know how much of it's gonna, because you know how paper gets when you peel it? Like, it's really thin right here on this edge. You see, that's almost translucent. Got really thin. So you have to be extra doubly special careful. All right, got it apart. And see, that's really thin. That's like tissue paper thin. I mean, in this particular case, it doesn't matter too much because, I mean, there's only one thing on here that I want. So I would cut this little booklet out. And the only reason I don't just pull it off of here is because this, okay, look. This little base piece that it's sitting on will give me a good spot to glue it down. So like you can glue it down using the piece that was in the book, and then it will, ooh. So like, see that little strip? You could glue that little strip down, and then you've got the whole book, right? So that you can see all the pages. Or you could decorate the book, or, you know, however you want to do it. So if I hold this down, I would probably crease it just so that it would flip easy. But then you have this little book. I'm gonna have to get a new Ziploc for my, it is creased there. That's really weird. It's scored in an odd spot. I don't know. Mythology. Lady Hestia Evans Students Edition. Gods, Heroes, Monsters of Ancient Greece. So, I mean, obviously, if you wanted to, that screams corner tuck to me, I guess, maybe. I don't know. So this one, again, is going to be one I have to work with and get the pages apart, and then I can cut out and use as tags. There's all kinds of cool writing in here that can be used as background. I know I've already done a flip through of these, but I just thought I would show you where I am with the processing and what a neat... Now this is interesting because this one, first of all, isn't the padded kind. Also, I mean, the gems are kind of cool, but if I kept this cover, I would probably cover this with something. So I don't know if I could punch holes so that you could still see those, or, I mean, I don't know. But I don't know where, and I also don't know where halfway is. I assume all of these are the same size. So let's look. Yeah, it's 12 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 13 goes right up past one of the, so none of the gemstones get hit by the midline. Just as a side note, if I wanted to keep the gemstones. So, and then here's all these ology books. I guess that's what I could start calling them in videos if I'm taking them apart on camera. The ology books. I don't know what I did with I have a box of Ziplocs that I use to, when I take books apart, that I use to put the stuff in. And I don't know where the box is. Let's pull. All right. I'm kind of just bringing you along while I cut the covers off of all of these. And then we look to see whether or not the pages easily separate. I don't know how I'm going to get that. Might not be able to. Might just have to cut the... there we go. Then what I would do after I'm done is I trim this up. So like you can come along here and just cut right along the... Heck, that's peeling off of there. You can feel it. It's sticky. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's stuck on the compass. Look, I peeled it off and the gemstone fell out. So now I have a little red gemstone. I don't know what I'll use it for, but I have one. It's caught, right now it's caught on the compass. But if I can get this off of here, I can get this off. We do know how to destroy a good book, don't we? My sister was freaking out when I told her I was picking up this hobby. My sister's a book person. Oh. Well, I mean, not that that's bad. I mean, I want to cut them apart, but that wasn't what I was expecting. Okay. It's not where I meant to cut that. Oh, and this one has a gem. Look at that gem. I guess that's to be expected. Pirate treasure, I mean. I'll have to see if I can separate them from their gems and compasses and whatnot. And see if I can get these pages off of here. Let's see. Will this one come off? It's fighting me. Mainly I want to get them off because they stuck. Oh, it ripped. Okay. They stuck stuff on here that I want. I might not be able to get it all off, but I can get some of it. There we go. Look, I even got some coins I can use. So, just clean this up and this can be a cover. I'm not going to struggle with that. I don't know. I don't know about that. That's in there. So, again, this is one of those things where let's measure it and see where the gem falls. It looks like it's not centered. So it looks like it's 6 inches is going to be at 17. So it's going to go right up along the side of the hole that it's in. So where is my... I was going to run my ruler up along it so you could see. Oh, there it is. So 17 would be the 6-inch mark, just because of where I have this laying. So with that in mind, that's where that would get cut. So the gemstone, that's where the gemstone would be. Not quite center going up and down either. But, I mean, you could still use it. It could still be part of your inner cover or whatever. This does not have padding. This is just a piece of corrugated cardboard. So, I mean, technically, this could be the outside of your book, and this could be the inside. But that is definitely harder. But I mean, the foam board is what the foam side is what you're using for the outside of the book. So the softer side might be what you want out, and then this for the inside. So you could put the gem on the outside. Just collecting book covers over here. We'll have to see if I can get this, see how much luck I have getting this one off. Looks pretty glued on there. See if I can get that. But now I can get this. It says dispatches. I wonder what's in here. It's a, look at that. It's got a belly band and letters. Look at those. Aren't those neat? There's like 4 of them in there. That's kind of cool. And they're in a little belly band. See, I told you guys, these are like little mock scrapbook, journal book things. Okay, and then you close it up. And it's got a little tie. Ready-made ephemera. I'm not going to tie it right now. Okay, so let's put this over here. Again, I don't have my... Alright, is this one set up like the vampire books? No, this is pretty good glued. This is more like the Greek book, I think. That glue, man, that they used on some of these is really good glue. These do, however, separate like this, so they will come apart Speaking of good glue, they will come apart this way. I try to use my hand to see if I can split the paper in such a way that neither piece ends up feeling like tissue paper, and I think that's pretty good for this one. They do have that wide spot in the back, so I don't know how it's going to go getting ephemera off of these. I suppose I could work this. Oh, or not. Nope, that just cut right through it. So that's another one that's going to have to be. So there will have to be some choices made, but I feel like you're going to be able to get most of the stuff out of here. That's pirates. How about fairies? Here's another one with a. Oh, that's right in the middle. That is right through the middle. This one's not 12. This one's 11 and a half-ish. But that's right through the middle. So this might be one of those ones where you cut these ends and you make tall journals. Although that's right through the middle too. I suppose you could take that off. Since you're going to cover the journal anyway, you could take this off. I think. I don't know. I mean, it peeled off of the vampire one. There's one vampire one that's missing from, so let's see. I know this video isn't highly interesting. I'm not making anything. We're just kind of destroying books, but I figured I was going to do this. I would take you along for the ride and see what you... Oh, this one goes side to side, I think. There's a fairy on the flower, and then there's not a fairy on the flower. Can you see? Can you see her appear and disappear in there? So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, this definitely is going to have to be cut that way. So this will have to be a long tall. At least the front will. The back is... There's nothing on the back. So, yeah, there's nothing on the back. All right, let's cut her apart and see what we got. I'm really excited to be doing this just because if I can get these broken down and put into bags or books or something other than a stack on my floor, it helps. And like I said, since I was doing it, I figured I would turn my camera on and let you see what I'm getting out of them. Again, if you run across, like that's a word. If you run across any of these in a thrift store or something, watching me struggle with them might make your decision as to whether or not you want to buy it. But, I mean, really cool stuff. I can't, look at that. You see that little photograph flip? I mean, obviously photograph flips aren't that big of a deal. We make those all the time, but this also looks like it's going to come apart, but it has... Now, this one's glue spot in the back isn't as wide. This one is more closer to this same width, so I might be able to get them apart. What I'm probably going to end up having to do to see if I can separate any of the backs, even the wide ones, is I'm going to have to cut these pages apart. So I'll have to get this off of here. I'm wondering if I fold it back and forth enough. If I can just tear it. Like that. Okay, and then what you do is, what I've been doing, like I said, I've been sliding my fingers kind of in there and then like that, and there you go. It's separated. And now I can cut out, I mean, look at that painting. That's really cute. And here's a little guest check or receipt or something. Again, this script will make great background. There's a ticket. And on this one, I've got a fairy. I mean, she'll be a lot of fun to cut out. Well, she won't be fun to cut out. Depends on whether or not you like fussy cutting. But, so you got the little fairy, and then this paper is really pretty. I mean, I would use that as a background for something. So, yeah. This journal belongs to, I might cut that out just to have as a thing to put in a journal. So this one looks like it's going to come apart pretty well. Again, I don't have my Ziploc bag, so I'm not like getting real far into this. I don't know. Are you still with me? Because it's been 30 minutes of me rambling about these ology books. This is the Nancy Drew one. So we're going to cut this one up the middle. Ooh, this one's got book cloth binding on it. It's going to make for interesting separating. All right, let's get the other side out and see. This one's being difficult. There we go. Maybe I was just too close to the... Okay, and we remember from the... if you watch the flip through, I don't know if you remember these, but these are old... I think they're postcards, but they're book covers. And I'm wondering if these weren't the original book covers or, you know, but it's definitely an older version of the book cover, just based on the way she's dressed. So I thought these were great. I want to say there are there's 6. So there's a dozen of them. So those will definitely be used in Mystery and Nancy Drew journals. I decided that I'm going to have to do... Oh, there's another one of those things. But you know what's nice about this one? That one's not in the center. I can cut that. I mean, with all this memorabilia, I might just have to do a Nancy Drew journal. But I can also put some of this stuff in just a regular mystery journal, which will be nice. I'm stacking these. I'm just moving them to a new stack. I don't know why I thought this was going to be helpful. Okay, so... Well, that comes apart pretty easy. And then this, see how that is in there? You get these that are interactive. And if you cut them right, you can keep, when you glue it down in your journal, you can keep the interactive part. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense? So like this, I will cut out and it will be a flip down. And it will tuck under its paperclip because I will cut this out with its envelope and paperclip. So, you know, who knows? Maybe I'll put an actual paperclip there. Like decorate a paperclip and put it there. So these come apart pretty easy at the front anyway. The back is going to be another story because they are... That's another one that's... Oh, it's got a notepad under it. So this is tucked through the page, as is the paperclip, or the corner of, the corner of the back of the list, maybe? Yeah, it's tucked under a cutout. The paperclip is cut out, and then it's tucked under. Anyway, there's lots of ephemera on this page. And then this one, does this move, or does something in the front move? Oh no, this moves. So for this one, what I thought was, if you want this to continue to work and you want to put this in here, so you would cut this out, get the whole thing, and then what you do is you glue a piece of cardstock just around the edges as if you were making a pocket, except you seal the whole thing. And then that will allow this to stay free, to move. And you can glue it into your book. So that was my thought on that. If you find any of these pieces that are small enough, unlike that vampire one where he's like 10 inches wide, or the mechanism is 10 inches wide, if you find one of these that's small enough, if you just put a piece of cardstock here and just glue around the edges, don't put any glue on the mechanism itself, then this will still slide for you inside your cardstock and you can glue it into your book. Right? Okay. I don't know how these are going to come out of here. Let's see. I don't know. I can't. Oh, wait. This feels off. Ooh, look at that. Oh, guys, that is mixed media. That's screaming mixed media. The unintended things that you get out of these books. Like, I honestly was expecting them to all just be glued. I wasn't expecting anything fancy like this. Fancy. That's fine. Okay. You need to stop talking nonsense. I don't think these come apart the way the vampire one. Oh, wait. Wait. They might. Or maybe they're like the Greek one. Can't actually tell what I'm... Oh, gotta be careful. I think I'm tearing at a... Let's find one that isn't. I know, I talk in incomplete sentences. Sorry. It's not intentional. It's just... Look, it does come apart. So I can get these ones apart. And then you just have to get the front apart. Well, assuming there's not something that keeps you from getting it apart. Okay, so this one has a lot of stuff. So let's look at this. Oh, this has this picture that slides up and down. This is definitely one of those ones. I don't know. Oh, that's not this page. Oh, okay, let's look at this again. So you open this. Oh, this rises. It's a little boat rises up out of the water. So this is another one of those ones, if you wanted this mechanism in your book. Let's see how wide it is. This mechanism is 6.5 inches wide. So it's going to depend on how wide you want to make a journal as to whether... Now, you could trim a little of this. You just have to make sure you glue the slot. But you could trim a little of this off. It is a little wider than it needs to be. So you could get away with, if you wanted this to only be... If you only wanted this to be 6 inches, you could get away with trimming off maybe 1/2 inch on this side and then a little bit on this side. And you could trim it down. So, I mean, you could make this work. Again, you would have to do your cardstock and make sure that you don't put any glue on any of the mechanisms or they'll stop working. Also, I will be scanning this for... Now, the print on these is typewriter print. Some of this is supposed to look like handwriting. The other thing about these pages that's different than the other ones is these are plastic coated, I think. Almost like a playing card. So these are shiny. Can you see the... So these are shiny. So these are going to be a little different to use as far as like whether you could collage on top of them or something like that. They might need scuffing if you wanted to do that. Not that that's always a bad thing, but... All right, one more, guys. I think I only have one more. Look, it's got a gem. I only got one more. So you're going to stick with me for one more? Maybe? Okay. We'll get right into it. Start cutting. This one's really tight. Okay. I don't want to cut the envelope. I want the envelope. This one is like really... I think because I'm pushing right up against the book board because I don't want to slice the bottom of this envelope. There's nothing in it anymore. So it's just an envelope. I feel like it used to have something in it. So I don't know. Okay, let's flip to the back. And, oh look, another envelope. Ooh, and a gem. All these books with gemstones in them. Again, I say they weren't necessarily intending you to... They didn't build it with the intention of you taking it apart and making stuff out of it, so... Ooh, more cards, guys, look. Okay, let's see what's in this one. Did we do this in the flip-through? Cairo, Alexandria... I don't remember doing that in the flip-through. I don't even remember those being there. Of course, I'll go back and watch the video and we will have flipped through them and I'm like... Time to start taking ginseng or something. Okay. So that's a little envelope. And see, here's a Book of the Dead. These do separate here. So it does come apart. It's got a wide spot at the back. So, oh, it's got a wide spot at the front. Ooh, these ones are going to be tougher, guys. I like the way they Do you see the fake? These are fake. That's not really string. I like the way they made it look like it was a sewn together book. All right, like we already said, this was wide glue. I don't know. This one's going to take... Ooh. I'm going to take force. Is what it's going to take. So I'm going to have to, once again, I'm going to have to see what I can salvage. I'm going to be upset if I can't get stuff out of the Egyptian book because I really like this book. Okay, there we go. So I got it that far. What's that? Huh. It's a string belly band. You can't even see it. I'm off camera. So they glued the ends of the string on the inside like we would the ends of a belly band on the top. And then they tied it. And then inside they've got this little, whatever that is. I could untie it, but I feel like I've taken up enough of your time taking these books apart. Yeah, so if you guys aren't like totally discouraged by what it takes to get these apart and you think they're cool, then watch out for them in thrift shops. And like I said, you can get, you only need one copy. You can get everything. See, like even him, he falls past the, I don't know if I can get my fingers in there. We're going to try. Some of the glue is really strong. It's funny the way some of it is like it would hold an airplane together, and then other of it is like I can just slip my fingers right through it and it separates. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if they use different glues based on which end of the book they were doing. But yeah. Okay, and then I'm really wanting... I suppose I could just cover the envelope because that little piece is going to fit exactly in there and I'm not going to be able to glue it. So that envelope has a hole in it. Here, I'm going to cut this off of here and I don't have a Ziploc bag to put it in. Okay, so... Okay, so now I have an envelope with a hole. An envelope belly band? I don't know. See what I end up doing with it. Anyway, okay guys, I think that's going to be it. I don't think you want to sit here and watch me cut out all the things. Like I said before, I do collect the words and stuff out of these books. So it's very... which is good because when I'm making things and I look at it and I go, that needs a little phrase or a little word or something. And I don't really have any. I mean, I guess I could go on my computer and print a bunch of words onto paper and, you know, distress it and make it look. And I mean, I've got a ton of fonts, but I've got all these books to cut up. So I was actually watching somebody and they said that it was just words. They used them to make a journaling card. And she said it was just words that she cut out of a page of a book that she liked. And, I mean, the words she liked, not necessarily the book. So, yeah, so once I get this apart, like I said in the beginning, there's another piece of ephemera. That has a bag to go in. I'll take these off of here. And then I have one more piece of ephemera to get off, and then I've got all of those words. So, lots of material in these ology books. I hope you got something out of this video, and if not, I hope you just enjoyed relaxing and watching me struggle with cardboard. I am excited to use this stuff and get it all broken down and find my Ziploc bags, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.